Alright, hello YouTube viewers. I wanted to make a video about the issue that we have seen, I'd say in the last year or so, about what is a woman. I think it was brought up by, I don't know, I forget the name of the guy that brought this up and created like a whole thing about it. People have debated about this. I was just thinking about this this morning, and it kind of seems to me that there's like two options. If you're a person who believes that a woman is someone who identifies as a woman, that is what people on the left are claiming. Is that, because people on the left believe that a man can identify as a woman. A biological man, somebody born a man, can just identify as a woman, say that they're a woman, and they have to be accepted as a woman. So I'm not debating that, but what I'm debating is their definition of a woman. Because they have defined it as a woman is someone who identifies as a woman. And people on the right are taking issue with that because it doesn't seem, it's like they're not really defining it properly, because this is how I see it. There's two possibilities of what they're saying. All right, so basically the first possibility, okay, someone who identifies as a woman. All right, well, you got the word woman within the definition. All right, so you can replace the word woman with someone who identifies as a woman. And so if you replace it, it becomes someone who identifies as a, and then you replace it again, and then it becomes someone who identifies as a, and you replace it again. So it's basically you just keep replacing the word woman with someone who identifies as a woman, but then woman also keeps getting replaced with someone who identifies as a woman. So it's like it just keeps going and going, and it never ends. It's like a never-ending loop. And so that can't be a reasonable definition if it just never ends. It's like, and it doesn't tell you what a woman is. Someone who identifies as a woman, that doesn't tell you, if that's what you're saying, and woman just to you, a woman just simply means someone who identifies as a woman, then that just goes into an endless loop, and it's just illogical, and it doesn't make sense, and so you're not really making any sense by saying that. If that's what you mean, it all comes down to what do you mean by what you're saying. All right, so that's option number one. Option number two is a woman is someone who identifies as a woman. That's what they say. Okay, but what do they mean by woman? All right, option one, that's what they just meant that, and that's it. But in option two, which I think is really more what they mean, when they say someone who identifies as a woman, what they mean by this word woman, they mean the traditional definition of a woman that humanity has been using for thousands of years, and is someone with, like a vagina and breasts who can be impregnated by a man and give birth to a baby and feed the baby with their breasts. That's what they mean by this word woman in their definition of a woman. It's like they just say it's someone who identifies as a woman, but they don't mean, when they're saying that, they don't mean this. This is the first possibility of what they mean, but that's totally illogical because it just goes into a loop. I think what they mean is this: someone who identifies as a woman, and this woman means, the traditional definition of a woman, which is someone who is born a woman with women parts. It's not a man that was, someone who's born a man and then becomes a transgender into a woman. That's not what they mean. It's someone who identifies as a woman, which is the traditional woman. All right. That's what they mean, but here's the problem. You put this woman into the definition, but this woman that they're trying to define means something else from this woman. So you're using the word woman two different ways. This one is different from this one. That's what they were saying. Because this woman is not the traditional woman that humanity has been using for thousands of years. But this one is. So it's like you're saying A identifies as B, it's like where A is different from B. Like you're saying like an airplane is a car, It's like, you're saying two different things. So you can't do that. It's like you can't define something by saying that is something that it's not. A woman is a woman. A woman is not somebody who identifies as a woman. That's another point I wanted to bring up. If you have to say the word identifies, then you're not it. If you're saying that a woman is someone who identifies as a woman, then you're not a woman. That person is not a woman. If you're a woman, you just say, I'm a woman. You don't have to say I identify as a woman. You're just a woman. If you're a man and you say I identify as a woman, you're not a woman. You're a man. You don't have to use the word identify. You don't have to use that word if what you are is that thing. Like a car doesn't identify itself as a car. A car is just a car, So by using the word identify, they're basically breaking their own their own thing. They're trashing their own definition. You might as well just say someone who feels like they're a woman. It's like, okay, well, you feel like a woman, okay, so you're feminine, okay. So I had a problem with that as well, so I just want to point that out. So anyway, those are the two problems with saying that a woman is someone who identifies as a woman. Because either you mean it like this and you're just stuck in a big loop that doesn't make any sense, or you're using two different meanings of the word woman, which also doesn't make sense. Like this one gets you stuck in a loop, and this one is like saying a car identifies as an airplane, or something, and then you say identifies. You say identifies, so it's obviously not that. A car is definitely not an airplane. So you can't. It makes no sense to do either one, and I don't know what else they would mean. I think when they say it, they mean the second one. But either way, they're just wrong in logic. They're logically wrong. So I just wanted to point that out in case nobody else had figured that out. because that's the way it seems to me logically. You're either going to be stuck in a loop, and so you're wrong there, or the more probable meaning that you had was this, and that is wrong as well, because it makes no sense. Because you can't use a different form of the word. When you're saying a woman is someone who identifies as a woman, and this means something different from that. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. I bet some people won't, but anyway, I think I'd like to point out logical problems with things that I see, and this is definitely a logical problem. So, alright, so see you later.